The old man swung his blade at the bamboo. The next second, the bamboo started pouring out giant golden chestnuts. The old man jumped in shock. He'd been poor his whole life, and now he was finally getting rich. Before he could even celebrate, the dirt under his feet suddenly started to bulge. A bamboo shoot burst out of the ground and shot up taller than a person in the blink of an eye. Before the old man could react, the bamboo shoot exploded with a boom. A burst of golden light flashed, and right in the middle was a baby girl. Han Laoshuan nervously reached out and picked up the baby, and she started growing the moment she touched the air. In the blink of an eye, the baby had turned into a chubby 3-year-old. Then she opened her mouth and said, "Grandpa," the little girl called out in a sweet baby voice. Laoshuan had gone his whole life without kids, and now in his 60s, he'd somehow picked up a child from inside a bamboo stalk. Thinking that, he quickly answered, "Good girl. Grandpa's right here." Then he suddenly remembered something, turned around and saw the golden chestnuts were still all over the ground. He stuffed the golden chestnuts into his bundle, then carried the little girl home. Han Laoshuan named her Zhu Sheng, but that very night something strange happened. Close to midnight, a weird rustling sound suddenly came from the yard. Han Laoshuan peeked through the crack in the door. And there in the yard stood a woman in red. When she saw him looking, she smiled. Then, with a twist of her body, she turned into a fiery red fox and vanished into the woods. Han Laoshuan was secretly stunned. He knew he'd run into a spirit. But when he looked down, he found a steaming chicken leg on the ground. The more he thought about it, the more it felt wrong. So he went back inside, shut the door, and stayed up all night guarding Zhu Sheng. At daybreak, Zhu Sheng woke up and told Grandpa she was hungry. Han Laoshuan had no food at home, so he could only hand her the chicken leg. But unexpectedly, a rapid knocking suddenly came from outside the door. Han Laoshuan yanked the door open, but the yard was completely empty. Then when he looked up, he saw a pair of glowing green eyes staring at him from the woods. A willow leaf had been left on the doorstep, with 4 small words written on it. "See you in 3 days." Han Laoshuan had no idea what it meant, but he figured something had its eye on Zhu Sheng, so he stayed even closer to her. The next day, the woman in red came back. She was carrying wild chicken and cured meat, shouting, "Han Laoshuan, open up, I brought you food." Han Laoshuan cracked the door open with his blade pointed out. "Who exactly are you?" "I'm here to repay a debt. 30 years ago, a fox was chased by wild dogs and covered in blood. You saved it with just 1 bowl of rice soup. That fox was you?" The woman smiled and pushed the door open. At a glance, she saw Zhu Sheng had just woken up. What no one expected was that Zhu Sheng's first words to her were, "Fox sister, your tail's sticking out." The woman froze, looked down, and sure enough, the tip of a red tail was showing under her skirt. She quickly tucked it back in. 200 years of cultivation, and a 3-year-old saw right through her. But pretty soon, her face turned serious again. This child is the reincarnation of the bamboo immortal from Green Bamboo Peak 300 years ago. And Zhu Sheng carries an inborn wood essence, something every spirit out there desperately wants. Those green eyes staring at the house last night belonged to a willow spirit, and it had already set its sights on this child. But there was someone even more dangerous, a weasel spirit going by the name Master Xuan King. He had a whole pack of weasels under him, and he was already on his way. Han Laoshuan gritted his teeth. "Even if it costs me my life, I'll protect Zhu Sheng." Seeing that, the woman took out a red pearl and handed it to Han Laoshuan. "This holds 100 years of my cultivation. Crush it, and it'll keep spirits away for 1 stick of incense." Han Laoshuan didn't dare take it, but Zhu Sheng suddenly reached out and grabbed it. Even stranger, the pearl started glowing in Zhu Sheng's hand. Han Laoshuan was still staring at it in shock. Then the next second, a voice suddenly called from outside, "Han Laoshuan, you home!" Han Laoshuan shoved Zhu Sheng into the woman's arms and rushed out with his blade. There in the yard stood a man in a gray robe with a medicine box on his back, smiling as he said, "Old man, I'm just a traveling doctor. Mind if I get a bowl of water?" Han Laoshuan stared at him for a few seconds. Just as he turned to get some water, Zhu Sheng suddenly spoke up. "Grandpa, he's covered in fuzz. Green fuzz, like tree roots." Han Laoshuan whipped back around. The doctor's eyes were glowing green. Han Laoshuan pulled Zhu Sheng behind him. "What are you, human or ghost?" Just then, the woman stepped out of the house and sneered, "Willow spirit, who are you fooling dressed as a doctor? With your 150 years of cultivation, you really couldn't smell that I was here?" The doctor's face darkened. "Hu Sanyang, since when does a fox stick her nose into this? This old man saved my life 30 years ago. His business is my business." "Hu Sanyang, do you even know what this child is worth? That's the bamboo immortal reborn. 1 bite could save me 100 years of cultivation. Think you can protect him? Whether I can or not, we'll find out." The doctor stared at her for a few seconds, then laughed. 3 days from now, at the Mountain God Temple. With that, he turned, headed into the woods, and dissolved into smoke. Han Laoshuan looked confused. What's the temple got to do with any of this? The woman explained that the so-called mountain god in that temple was actually a 500-year-old black python. It had taken over the temple and was pretending to be the mountain god to feed on incense offerings. And 300 years ago, it had been the bamboo immortal's gatekeeper snake. After the immortal died, it swallowed the body and gained half of a cultivation scripture. Its power skyrocketed, and it was just 1 step away from becoming a flood dragon. Now it had its eyes on Zhu Sheng too. Han Laoshuan got anxious. "Then let it come. I'll be waiting." But the woman just smiled and told him not to worry. She said she'd definitely help when the time came. Then she left. But that night, the fake doctor came back again, saying he had medicine for Zhu Sheng. He even claimed something was wrong with her, and that if she wasn't treated, she wouldn't survive 3 days. Han Laoshuan peeked through the crack in the door. Liu Changsheng stood there with the medicine box on his back, black liquid seeping through the cracks. Han Laoshuan already knew what the willow spirit really was, so there was no way he'd fall for that. The fake doctor flew into a rage. Old man, I'm talking to you nicely, so don't push it. That child is the bamboo immortal reborn. A poor woodcutter like you can't protect her. Then Liu Changsheng smashed the door bar, his green eyes glowing as he stepped inside. The medicine box popped open, and inside were severed limbs soaked in black liquid. How many kids have you harmed? More than 30. I already turned them all into medicine, and the one in your arms can save me 60 years of cultivation. As he said that, he reached for Zhu Sheng, and Han Laoshuan fought with everything he had to stop him. He slashed at the willow spirit with his blade, but the impact numbed his hand, and the monster wasn't hurt at all. Right then, Zhu Sheng leaned out and gently blew at the willow spirit. The next second, Liu Changsheng let out a scream. Layers of human skin peeled off his body, revealing a knotted, bark-like trunk underneath. Then bamboo shoots burst out of the yard, pierced through his chest, and hoisted him into the air. A gust of wind blew by, and the willow spirit vanished without a trace, leaving behind only an empty set of clothes and a dead willow branch. Han Laoshuan braced the door shut, his face still full of fear, not even fully recovered yet. Then Zhu Sheng pointed at the window again. "Grandpa, someone's there." Han Laoshuan looked over and saw the shadow of a coiled snake on the window paper, head raised high.